Anyways, moving on, I wanted to talk about this because I saw nobody else was talking about it. Trump's ICE crackdown could get a boost in Florida with DeSantis's plan to deputize state patrol. So it sounds like to me, Ron DeSantis here wants to train his state patrol officers, like the highway police, right? He wants to train them into deporting people. Training, yeah, essentially performing the functions of an immigration officer. That's right. Governor Ron DeSantis last week signed an agreement that could soon deputize Florida highway patrol officers to perform the functions of federal immigration officers, and the head of a union representing a majority of troopers has concerns about the decision. He signed a memorandum between the Florida Highway Patrol and U.S. Immigration, giving troopers the authority to exercise immigration power. So he's already done it. That's great. Let's see what he says here. We must have the strongest law in the nation on immigration enforcement that will guarantee state and local deportation assistance, end catch and release, eliminate magnets such as remittances, and adopt supporting policies that will protect Floridians. That is absolutely amazing. I honestly don't even know what else he could do better there. That's fucking great. It looks like we got a video here too if you want to watch that. I wonder where they're all coming from though. They look Hispanic, which I'm not surprised because a lot of immigrants in Florida are of Latino nature, Cuban nature. The legislature's immigration priorities have included a mandatory death penalty for illegal immigrants convicted of a capital offense. Wow. You don't hear about that every day. Enhancing sentences for illegal immigrant gang members, yeah. Expanding shared intelligence among law enforcement agencies. Okay, so good communication. We always need more of that. Strengthening enforcement of public officials' compliance with the state law. Banning sanctuary jurisdictions. Okay. Financial incentives for training law enforcement officers who help ICE task force. That's great. It sounds like he wants to do all the right things. Man. I got a bit more respect for Ron DeSantis today.
Dana Marie.
Hi, Harris. As security strengthens at the southern border, authorities here say they've seen increased activity. I got a firsthand look at how and where these smugglers are dropping off these Chinese illegal migrants.
By water, yeah.
A Chinese man was stopped by the U.S. Coast Guard 25 miles off the Bahamas. He had a suitcase strapped to 2 paddle boards, and he said he was going to Miami. Late last month, police caught 2 large groups of Chinese migrants who they say were smuggled by boat into South Florida. After getting dropped off, 21 were found hiding in the back of a U-Haul. Another group of 26 was heading to Orlando.
So we found a group of 21 Chinese immigrants and another group of 26 Chinese immigrants. And they're all coming by water from boat nearby. I have some goddamn questions, dude. First of all, why the hell are the Chinese not coming by plane? What the fuck do they have to hide if they're not willing to go through airspace regulations, TSA pat-downs? What the hell are they hiding? What is their agenda? What are they here for? If they're needing to avoid being identified, then that makes me wonder if they're of military age. And I mean, they look a bit like it. They don't look built like the military, but very, very odd situation. Where the hell are they coming from? By the boat?
Authorities believe in both cases, smugglers from the Bahamas entered this canal in Miami's Coral Gables neighborhood.
Wait, so they're coming... The Chinese people are going from China to the Bahamas to an island off Florida to Florida? And you mean to tell me they're not hiding something? What the fuck? What the fuck are Chinese people doing in the Mediterranean? That's what I want to know. Weird.
10 miles south of downtown Miami, but it's only about an hour boat ride from the Bahamas. Easy access for smugglers to bring people to the Florida coast.
It's an hour-long boat ride. First, we start island hopping Japan, and what, now they start island hopping us? Is that what's going on?
On the other side of those mangroves, actually a path.
Florida Congressman Carlos
Are we being
Jimenez
island
says it's
hopped?
the perfect place to drop off migrants.
Vans were ready to pick them up just right at the end of that road.
You know, it's an operation. They have a rendezvous point and then they go. We have so many miles to protect.
The Florida coastline is 4 times the length of the U.S.-Mexico border. Local, state, and federal agencies.
Hold up. So I'm assuming they're coming from one of these islands. The Chinese? That sounds to me like we're about to have another Cuba situation. Where they want to get close to us, but not technically in U.S. territory, but close enough to where they can send nukes or missiles. That's literally what the Cold War was, wasn't it? Was them trying to get close enough to be able to send it? Since all the other communist countries were way overseas in like Europe and shit, they needed something in South America. Wasn't that the whole point of it? I'm getting that same exact vibe from that. Or it's like they're like preparing a port or something.
Of the U.S.-Mexico border. Local, state, and federal agencies work together to patrol the waters. Getting to the Bahamas for the Chinese is easy. There are no visa requirements. Just buy a ticket and go.
We've got to pay more attention to this region. The proximity matters. They are on the 20-yard line of our homeland.
Yeah, they're right outside.
And lawmakers have sounded the alarm on China's involvement in the Caribbean. They've not only invested millions in tourism, but infrastructure in the Bahamas. Harris.
Oh, yeah, I guess it is the Caribbean. I don't know why I said Mediterranean. I guess I don't really even know the difference. But yeah, I guess it'd be the Caribbean. Wait, hold on. Did she say something about investment? Wait the fuck a minute.
And lawmakers have sounded the alarm on China's involvement in the Caribbean. They've not only invested millions in tourism, but infrastructure in the Bahamas.
The communists are building infrastructure an hour off the coast of our country, Americans. Does that not concern you? Does that not fucking concern you? It sounds to me like yeah, it's a Cuba situation, or they're building a port, or maybe they're just low-key annexing the Bahamas for future war. I don't know. It's a very weird situation. Do you think it has anything to do with the South China Sea and them not being able to have access to that? Do you think this is them like trying to get some access in between their country and like, oh, well, now we own the Bahamas, so now we own all the water in between? It's our jurisdiction. Do you think that's what it is, like a 4D chess move? I don't know, man. It's extremely possible. But it sounds like they could be just low-key annexing them. I don't know. Let's continue reading. I don't think we're done with this story yet. That's crazy. Chinese immigrants in the Caribbean. You never thought you would ever hear that. That's like hearing a whole bunch of Russians in China. It's just a very odd thing. All right, let's see what else is going on. What's going on with the legislature and the governor right now? We're almost caught in the middle, Smith said. There's no additional funding to pay for those additional duties. You know, it's easy to sign a piece of paper and say, we're going to have troopers do that now. Okay, well, are you going to pay me more money? Yeah, more duties, more money. I do agree with that sentiment. But didn't they say they were financially incentivizing financial incentives for training law enforcement who help ICE task force? They have financial incentives, don't they? So I'm not sure what this guy means. 41 years stands by a need for immigration reform, but he believes the agency has already been underfunded for years and does not have enough money to operate. What? Our concern moving forward is we need increase to our pay. The trooper and the folks that do the job every day They need to know that they can still put food on the table and be able to buy a house and raise some kids and things of that nature. Because right now, a trooper at starting pay is a permanent apartment dweller. Damn. Strong words, but okay. In the upcoming budget, Smith said the department is asking the legislature for $13 million. And for it to be fully funded, it looks like they're gonna need $27 million. Jesus, man. But then again, we've sent how much of billions of dollars to Ukraine and Afghanistan and Israel in the last 5 years? I don't see what $27 million is gonna do. Or sorry, I should rephrase that. I don't see what the big deal is of just $27 million when we spend billions fighting other people's wars, right? There hasn't been any guidance from the governor's office about what our role will be. Excuse me. How many troopers does he want to assign to this? So he's just not being specific? Smith said there are nearly 150 trooper vacancies on the highway patrol right now, and that the government wants to cut 25 of them. So they're looking to hire people, but they need to fire people. Maybe they don't have the funding. Maybe Ron is just lying. Maybe they don't actually have the funding. He says they do. But, I mean, it's time for Ron DeSantis to nut up or shut up. It's time for him to put the money where his mouth is. If he wants these people out, he's going to have to put the money up. That's really what it is at the end of the day.